I need everyone to sit down.
You're gonna want to sit down for this video.
I need you to take a minute, because the longer we live in this glittery, fun, upbeat showgirl era, the more I am convinced that the Tortured Poets Department is Taylor Swift's best album.
Take a minute. Take it in.
Yes, better than Folklore, better than Red, better than 1989. And I know some of you just unsubscribed.
Screw that guy! Yeah!
And I get it. But listen, the problem was never writing with TTPD.
Say it once again with feeling how the dead rattle breathing.
The problem was never production. The problem was sequencing. Because when this album dropped, it felt like emotional whiplash.
Sometimes I get an emotional whiplash.
Nobody knew what was happening. We thought we were time traveling through Jake, through Maddie, through the Joe breakup, through meeting Travis. Like, there was a lot going on at the moment, and we had no idea what was happening.
What's happening? What's happening?
All in one sitting, it felt like reading someone's diary after it fell down the stairs. So I reorganized it, not by vibe, not by ranking, but by storyline. And once you follow the emotional chronology, it becomes devastatingly clear. This is a relationship autopsy.
We hereby conduct this post-mortem.
Come one, come all. This is not a scrapbook. We are using my exact order. The first 5 songs are removed from the central arc because they are legacy reflections, really, more than pertaining to this actual story plot. And then we can begin with my 26-track Tortured Poets Department. To be clear, let's get the 5 songs I'm going to remove out of the way. These are not bad songs. They just interrupt the narrative spine. The first one I'm pulling is the manuscript. In this chronological order, this would be at the beginning because this is about the Red relationship with Jake. It is her reflecting back on it, but it really doesn't fit together with the whole storyline of the Tortured Poets Department. I do like the line, "The story isn't mine anymore," but again, she's only talking about the Red era, and it's a little disturbing. Bad, it just belongs in the all too well cinematic universe. Like, if it was on Red TV, that would have made a lot of sense, but again, I do believe she didn't write it back then. Second song will be Robin. This is a beautiful tribute to Aaron Dessner, her producer and friend, like child, but it's not part of this romantic collapse, and it's one of my least favorite songs on the album, or it is my least favorite song, so it's being cut. Okay, number 3 is Cassandra, okay? Like, I love this song. I adore this song. It just doesn't really fit. I mean, if I had to force it into this album, it would go at the beginning because chronologically, it's her reflecting back on the Reputation, Cancellation, Kanye, Kim Kardashian whole trauma, but that is just a separate story. This song would fit on like around the Rep era, but it doesn't match with the feel of Reputation. And my 4th song is Thank You, Amy. Again, this song is great, and I love this song, and I love the meaning, but again, it does not fit with the flow of this Tortured Poets narrative. And last song I am pulling is The Bolter. I love The Bolter. Okay, this meta self-awareness about running from relationships. It's commentary on her pattern, but it's not part of this specific collapse. I mean, and also I don't really truly believe that she was that much of a bolter. Maybe at some point in her life she was, but definitely by the time she was with Joe, she was with him for 6 years. It feels like she's pretty, like, she's down to stay for the long haul. So when you remove these 5 from the main arc, something happens. The album stops feeling scattered and starts feeling surgical. And now we can begin. Act 1 of the album, where my track 1 would begin, is the slow death of Joe. This starts with the song I Hate It Here, opening track of the album. This is where the story really starts, and it's quiet. Yeah, it's not like a big flashy opening song, but it is important. This is not screaming, it's not betrayal, this is not fireworks. This is boredom, emotional stagnation. She's still in the relationship, but she is mentally gone. I hate it here, so I will go to secret gardens in my mind. That line, that is someone escaping instead of fixing. And I have this theory that the secret gardens in my mind, she's referring to the Evermore Folklore era, and then when the second verse, when she says the lunar valleys in my mind, she's referring to Midnights. Which, I don't know, let me know what you think. When you start romanticizing imaginary worlds, your real one is already dying, okay? Like, your heart won't start anymore. This is the beginning of the end. Not explosive, just empty. And that's worse, because there's no villain yet. Just disconnection. Track 2 is Fortnite. Now this is crucial. She got it close. Like, this is the beginning of the storyline, but not exactly number 1. I think it's more of a track 2. This is crucial. She is still with Joe, but she is thinking about Maddie. Not the chaotic 2023 version, that old fling, the almost, the what if. We don't even know if they ever, flung. Fortnite feels like nostalgia dressed up as destiny. It's not about the present, it's about the unfinished emotional business. When you start rewriting your past flings as the one that got away, the one mentioned, you are already emotionally cheating. The entire song feels like we almost had something once, and when your brain starts building alternate timelines, your current one is already collapsing.
Impact imminent.
This is temptation before action, memory before movement. Which brings us right into my track 3, Guilty as Sin. You see how this fits perfectly here? And now we escalate. This is no longer nostalgia. This is desire. This is active emotional infidelity. She hasn't left Joe, but spiritually, she's gone. She is very much elsewhere. The religious imagery is so important here because she knows it's wrong. She feels guilty, but she doesn't stop. This is the crack turning into a fracture. The relationship hasn't ended yet, so what if she just rolls the stone away? Now, my track 4, which I'll agree that this is a good track 5, and my track 5 in this ranking is not going to fit her mold, really, of her most vulnerable song. I don't know, maybe you can let me know. But my track 4 is So Long London, and here is the funeral. Notice something. There was no explosive betrayal, no screaming, no villain monologue. It's exhaustion. I stopped CPR. That line alone tells you everything. It's giving that submersible billionaire Titanic thing. Just how low do you think I go until I self-implode? It seems pretty, not that low. But she tried, okay? She tried, he tried. It just didn't work. This isn't rage, it's depletion. And that's what makes it so tragic. Because it's not dramatic enough to hate, it's just tired enough to leave. And when you place this after Fortnite and Guilty as Sin, it becomes clear. She didn't just fall out of love, she had somewhere emotionally to go. And that makes the goodbye colder. And she loves a getaway car. Which brings us into Act 2 of the album, into my track 5. This is the Rebound Mania. Now we enter adrenaline, now we enter chaos, now we enter Maddie, okay? And this section of the album only makes sense when it follows Joe's quiet death, because this isn't peace. This is oxygen after suffocation. Track 5, Fresh Out the Slammer. The metaphor says everything. She leaves a long-term relationship and immediately runs. This is not healing. This is not momentum. She doesn't sit in grief. She sprints into distraction by kind of telling herself, I've been grieving the relationship all along. And it feels intoxicating because when you've emotionally been stagnant for years, anything intense feels like freedom and it feels like breathing. Track 6 is Florida. This is manic escape energy. Florida isn't a place, it's a state of mind. Burn it down, reinvent, disappear, be someone new. This is adrenaline dressed up as empowerment, and it's unstable. The drums feel chaotic, the lyrics feel impulsive, it's not grounded, it's high-speed emotional fleeing. And it does feel very jarring and out of place in this album, and I think that's by design. Track 7, The Tortured Poets Department, the title track. Now we're fully in infatuation delusion. Two messy intellectuals convincing themselves they're cosmic. It feels deep, it feels faded, it feels poetic. But when you zoom out, it's two dramatic writers romanticizing dysfunction. And this is that phase where you think, no one understands them like me. And it's like, girl, historically, that sentence has never ended well. I mean, this is one of my favorite tracks on the album because it does feel so in that delusional tortured poets department feel, but it's full delusion. This brings us fully into delusion with track 8, I Can Fix Him, No Really I Can. This is a warning sign song because when somebody says I can fix him out loud, they are already in danger. This is not love, this is ego. This is you thinking your empathy is special, that your attention will transform him, and the production is telling on her. It's stripped down, it's almost Western, it feels dusty and dry, like a desert mirage. This is the moment where everyone watching knows it won't end well. I mean, except for her, except for like the last line of the song. And that's important because this entire album section of the album is written from inside the delusion, not outside of it. Track 9, But Daddy, I Love Him. And now she doubles down. This is defensive love. This is I will ruin my life if I want to. And notice who she's fighting here. Not him, the public, her family, the fans, the noise. If you're more angry at the audience than loving the man, that's obsession. This song is unhinged in the best way. It's impulsive, rebellious, it's self-destructive, and it only makes sense when placed here before the collapse. Because this is her choosing him loudly, which is what makes what happens next so humiliating. Track 10, Who's Afraid of Little Old Me, one of my favorite songs on this album. Now the tone shifts. This is no longer romantic delusion, this is paranoia. She feels judged, mocked, misunderstood. The narrative is slipping out of her control, and she does not like that. And this is very important. This song is about public villainization, because at this point in the storyline, she has left a long-term relationship, immediately attached to a controversial man, publicly defended him online, and that backlash is loud. And so this song feels like, if I'm the villain, fine, I'll be terrifying. It's reclaiming the narrative before the narrative devours her. And we must love. Track 11 brings us to The Albatross. This is where the self-doubt creeps in. The albatross is the omen, the curse, the weight someone carries. And here she's asking, am I the warning sign? Am I the one that ruins things? This is the shift from he's misunderstood to what if I'm the problem? Okay, anti-hero T. And the pivot matters because the collapse is coming. She's also kind of warning him and being like, this is, again, her in her delusional phase, where she's like, I know the outside world hates you, they hated me too, I'll take you under my wing and show you how it is to be canceled. Realizing that his cancellations are a lot more important than an edited phone call with Kim Kardashian. Now we reach the emotional epicenter of the album, the moment the delusion shatters. Down Bad, my track 12. This is after he disappears, after the ghosting, after the public embarrassment. Now the alien metaphor makes perfect sense. She believed it was cosmic, faded, otherworldly. She thought she had been chosen, and then she's dropped back onto Earth. Alone, humiliated. Did you take all of my old clothes? I mean, he does seem the type to wear his girlfriend's clothes. It's petty, it's hurt, it's raw. This is not longing, this is confusion mixed with shame, teenage petulance, and it only hits this hard when placed after the defensive mania, because now she has to sit with the fact that she was loud and she was certain, and she was wrong. She was very wrong. Track 13, My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys. Love this song. This is clarity through pain. She realizes he destroys what he loves, and she let herself be loved. The production is deceptively playful, which makes it worse, because heartbreak isn't always cinematic. Sometimes it's realizing you were just part of someone's pattern, and this is the beginning of emotional sobriety. But before we get there, track 14. The smallest man who ever lived. Okay, now we get the rage, because when you are mourning a relationship, there always is a point of rage. But this is not Joe. Joe is exhaustion. This is humiliation. This is, you embarrassed me publicly. That bridge is volcanic. You can hear the shame burning in anger. And this song belongs exactly here. After Down Bad, after she's been dropped, after the pattern realization, because now she's not confused. She's furious. And she should be. He deserves prison and he won't get time. Track 15 is one of the most psychologically fascinating, confusing tracks. I'm Gonna Get You Back, because it's so unstable. Is she getting revenge? Is she getting him back romantically? She doesn't know. And I don't even think she wants to. This is toxic fantasy, and that's the point. It's oscillation. It's the brain after heartbreak trying to regain control. It's not empowerment. It's desperation masked as confidence. And sometimes we have to do that. The Black Dog, track 16, is now when we enter depression. Location tracking, memory replay, trying to see if he goes back to a place that mattered to them. This is the spiral phase, when you know it's over, but you're still looking for proof that you mattered. This is quiet devastation, and placing it here makes it hit louder. Because now the anger has faded, and what's left? Loneliness. And screaming into the void. My track 17, Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus, this represents the ego death. She realizes she wasn't special. She was one name in a lineup. That realization hurts more than betrayal, because betrayal at least implies intensity. Being replaceable, that's worse. This song is devastatingly understated, and it belongs here after Obsession, because now she understands the pattern fully, and she realized he needed her, but he needed drugs more. Bringing us into LOML, Loss or Love of My Life. Now we hit the emotional crater, okay? Like, is this love of my life? Is it loss of my life? This is grief without theatrics. This is the moment where you question, was I wrong about everything? Did I romanticize someone who was never that deep? This is quiet devastation, and it's one of the saddest songs on the album. And it's written so well, I love. Because it's not angry, it's confused. I mean, this is modern all too well. It was momentary, it was legendary, it was unnecessary. The way she used the fact of him being a cinephile and then brought up all the movie metaphors. This song is done so well, and I love. And it's devastating. Almost as devastating as my track 19, How Did It End? Yes. And finally, this is the public ambiguity. Friends asking questions, media speculation, people wanting a clean narrative. But breakups are rarely clean, especially when they implode publicly. This song feels like I don't even know how to summarize this, and that's honest. I think this is going over both of her breakups, the Joe and the Maddie relationship. She kind of just combined those two breakups into one, and she's just telling the world here, I don't know what happened. But I know you guys definitely want the tea. Now the album shifts because something very important happens here. The grief stops being about him, or really any man, and it starts being about her. The next track, I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. My track 20, this is the thesis. This is the entire album spine. This is why living in the showgirl era changed how we hear this record. When this song first dropped, people thought it was camp, fun, meta, theatrical. But in this order, this far back on the album after everything, it's horrifying because it comes directly after humiliation, ego death, public confusion, romantic collapse. And instead of stopping, she performs. I'm so depressed I act like it's my birthday. That line is not cute, okay? That is dissociation. And this is where your analysis is getting strong. We watched her do this real time. The Eras Tour, the smiling, the glitter, the choreography, the mechanical perfection. While tabloids were exploding, while her relationship was imploding, while the internet dissected her, she was bleeding backstage and then going out and doing the 1989 set. This is not normal behavior, and this is why we love her. This is survival mode, and placing this song here makes it devastating instead of cheeky. The showgirl isn't empowerment, she's armor. Now, after all of these events, we get to track 21, The Prophecy. Now we hit the deepest emotional point of the album, because this is no longer about Joe, or Maddie, or humiliation. This is existential. Please, I've been on my knees, change the prophecy. That's not about one man. That's about pattern. That's about, why does this keep happening to me? Why do I keep choosing wrong? Why does love keep collapsing? And this is what elevates the album beyond gossip, because it becomes self-interrogation. This is her asking, am I cursed or am I complicit? This mature writing, that's not Rebound chaos. This is reflection. Like, I don't want money, just someone to give me company. That is so layered and has so many meanings. And it's just so good. This brings us directly into one of my favorite tracks on the album, I Look in People's Windows. This represents isolation. This is what happens after the tour lights turn off, after the adrenaline fades, after the chaos settles. You feel outside normal life. Watching people have quiet love, stable love, private love, and wondering why yours is always public and explosive. This song is lonely in a way that no one talks about, and it's not dramatic, it's detached. And that's way more unsettling. But it's also like beautiful. The album shifts again because she steps outside of the relationship entirely with track 23, Peter. Oh God, I love this song. It's one of my top songs on the album. This is about growth, outgrowing someone, realizing that not everyone evolves at the same place. It's not angry, it's not chaotic, it's reflective. And that's important because this shows maturity. She's not screaming anymore like in The Black Dog. She's understanding. She's looking back and she's finally over the relationship and just realizing her own pattern in it, that like she is Wendy in this scenario, that she has been holding the light at the window or whatever. And no, the light's finally out. The woman has blown the candle out. And I live. Track 24, Clarabow. Now we zoom out completely. This is industry commentary. This is about fame cycles, being replaced, about watching younger girls be crowned the next you. I mean, that has to be psychologically damaging. This is legacy awareness, and placing this here works because after personal collapse, she re-examined her entire career, her position, her myth, her narrative. This is not breakup Taylor, this is iconic, icon status Taylor. And now finally, hope. Not manic hope, not Florida hope, but grounded hope. In this album's resolution, the final 2 tracks, track 25, The Alchemy. This feels earned, it feels steady, not chaotic, not defensive, not performative. This is love that doesn't need to be screamed. And after everything we just walked through, it feels like relief. I do have a theory that this song might have originally been written for Maddie, specifically the first verse, and then it was reworked for Travis. Either way, I'm choosing to say that the song's about Travis. And our final track, track 26, So High School. This song is playful, light, butterflies without anxiety. And here's the key, this only works at the end. If you place it randomly in the album like it is, it's very jarring. But here, it feels like the emotional reset, like she's survived herself. And now it lays the perfect groundwork for Life of a Showgirl. Now here's the bold take. This album will age better than most of her albums, including Midnight's, because Midnight's is aesthetic. This is Autopsy. This album is messy because heartbreak is messy. It's non-linear because trauma is non-linear. And maybe that was intentional. Maybe the chaos of the original sequencing mirrored the chaos of her mental state. But once you lay it out chronologically, you see the precision. You see the craft. You see the emotional accountability. This isn't revenge Taylor. Well, fully. This isn't fairy tale Taylor. This is pattern-aware, self-interrogating Taylor. And that's far more interesting and far more chaotic. And that's why we love. The Tortured Poets Department was never messy. We were just reading it wrong. Because it's not meant to be consumed as gossip. It's meant to be consumed as a collapse. The longer we live in the Showgirl era, the more performance feels haunting. Because now we know what she was smiling through. And honestly, that makes this album devastating in a way I don't think we appreciated on the first listen. So yes, I stand by it. Reorganized, it might be her best work. It probably is the best album Taylor Swift will ever put out.